So catalysts are the substances, or you can say some elements which are used to change the rate of reaction. Okay, sometimes we use catalyst to start the reaction where the reaction is non-spontaneous. Sometimes we use to add the catalyst to change the rate of reaction, and sometimes to stop it. So the main function of catalyst is to regulate the rate of reaction, to control it. Okay, so there are different types of catalysts. Mostly D block elements are used as catalysts in different types of reactions. Okay. Potassium chlorate, when heated strongly, decomposes slowly, gives dioxygen. The decomposition occur in the temperature range of 653 to 873 Kelvin. If you decompose the potassium chlorate, what happened? It will decompose into KCl and oxygen molecule. Okay. So what happened actually? However, when a little of magnesium oxide is added, the decomposition takes place at considerably lower temperature range, which is 473 to 633 Kelvin. See what is the difference in adding the catalyst. Previously, it was decomposed at the proper range, that is 653 to 873 Kelvin. That is too high temperature. But when you add the catalyst magnesium oxide there, then the decomposition becomes at lower temperature, and that is 473 to 633 Kelvin, and also at much accelerate, and the reaction rate also increase. This is the difference in adding a catalyst in a reaction. The added magnesium dioxide remaining unchanged with respect to its mass and composition. I've already told you that catalysts do not participate in the reaction, they become unchanged throughout the reaction. They do not involve in the reaction between the reactants. Okay, you will see that KClO3 is there in both the sides. The ratio of KCl and oxygen is balanced. The conservation of mass, law of conservation of mass, which we have studied in previous class. So this will be the same ratio, but magnesium oxide increase the rate of reaction and lower down the temperature. The reaction which was starting performing at 653, now we are performing it at 473. So there is a difference of approximate 200 kelvins. Okay. In a similar manner, the rate of number of chemical reactions can be altered by mere presence of foreign substances. Sometimes foreign substances are like the substances a part of, or you can rather than reactants. These are known as foreign substances. So it is catalyst. It can be a D block element, platinum. These are the most frequently used catalysts from the D block element. So they just change the rate of reaction. They alter it means they just, sometimes it increase the reaction, sometimes it just decrease the rate of reaction. So catalyst directly affects the rate of reaction without changing itself. Okay, so there are actually different types of catalysts and their categories. So we'll discuss about the two categories. First are promoters and poisons. Promoters means, the promoters are the substance that enhance. Promote means promote. Okay, when something is promoting, so the promoters are those substances that enhance the activity of catalyst, while poisonous decreases the activity of the catalyst. So there are two types of foreign substances, promoters and poisonous. So when promoters are added with the catalyst, they enhance the activity. In the presence of promoters, catalysts work very effectively or more conveniently better than before, but poisonous substances decreases the activity. So whenever we want to stop the reaction, we should add poisons that actually decrease its activity and which ultimately affects the rate of reaction. Sometimes it can stop the reaction. So for example, in a Haber process of manufacturing of ammonia, molybdenum act as a promoter for iron, which is used as catalyst. Okay, see, you can see on the arrow we have iron and molybdenum here. Okay, so what happened? Iron is actually used as catalyst here, and this molybdenum is a what? It's a promoter. It increases the rate of reaction. So whenever we add molybdenum during the process of this ammonia, this will increase the rate of reaction. That is why we used to use it at promoter. So promoters, the main function of promoter is to enhance the rate of speed, to increase the rate of reaction. Okay. There are two types of catalyst which we have also discussed: homogeneous and heterogeneous. A homogeneous catalyst, when the reactant and the catalyst are in the same phase. Phase means state of matter. When the reactant and catalyst both are in the same phase, the process is said to be homogeneous catalysis. The following are some of the example. Whenever we used to take some reactant for any reaction, we used to just mention their state in bracket. है ना? In parentheses, we used to measure the state. So whenever there is the reactant which are of same phase and we are adding catalyst also of the same phase, at that time that is known as homogeneous catalysis. And when we change the phase of the catalyst and the reactants, at that time that will be a heterogeneous catalysis reaction. Okay, so most of the reactions which we perform in laboratories are heterogeneous. Sometimes we mix solid into liquid, sometimes we mix liquid into gases. So there are different types of reaction. So the catalysis is actually depend on the nature of the reactants and the catalyst. Example first is oxidation of sulfur dioxide into sulfur trioxide with dioxazine in the presence of oxides of nitrogen as the catalyst in the lead chamber process. So for example, if you want to convert the sulfur dioxide into sulfur trioxide, so at that situation you are taking the catalyst, that is nitrogen oxide, as gaseous phase. After seeing this bracket and the state of the reactant and catalyst, you will be able to identify that this is a homogeneous catalyst. Okay. The reactant sulfur dioxide and oxygen and the catalyst nitric oxide are all in the same phase. So this is homogeneous catalysis. Second is the electrolysis of methyl acetate is catalyzed by H positive ion furnished by hydrochloric acid. Okay, if you want to do the reaction of methyl acetate, so at this situation we are reacting the water and acetate both in liquid phase, and we are taking HCl in liquid phase. Okay, so this is also an example of homogeneous reaction. Next is hydrolysis of sugar is catalyzed by H positive ion furnished by sulfuric acid. So whenever we need H positive ion, we used to add HCl, either HCl or H2SO4, depend on the category of reaction. Sometimes we require strong acid. At that situation, we go for H2SO4. And whenever we require a weak acid comparatively, so at that time we'll go for the HCl. And especially whenever we require H positive ion there. Otherwise, so many acids are there which can be used as catalyst, but depend on the requirement. Okay, so for the hydrolysis of sugar, means mixing of sugar in water, we require H2SO4, and that will form glucose and fructose, and both are in the solution phase. Sometimes we used to see the aqueous state. So what is aqueous state? Whenever something is in dissolved state, that is the aqueous state of that. On ions we used to you write aqueous, है ना? Or if the compound which we are obtaining as product, this is also write as aqueous. So this state shows that this compound or this particular compound is mixed with water. Next is heterogeneous catalysis. Oxidation of sulfur dioxide into sulfur trioxide in the presence of platinum. I've already told you that D block elements are particularly used as catalyst, mostly used as catalyst. Okay, so platinum is there which is used as catalyst. So now you can see the reactant and products both are in gaseous state. Sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide both are in gaseous state but are catalysts in solid state. So platinum is solid in state. So this is an example of heterogeneous catalysis. So the reactant is in gaseous state while the catalyst is in solid state. combination between dinitrogen and dihydrogen to form ammonia in the presence of finely divided iron in Haber process. Now you can see nitrogen and hydrogen both are gases. Ammonia, the gas obtained as product, is also a gas, and the catalyst which we are taking to perform this reaction is iron, which is so in solid state. So the reactant are in gaseous state while the catalyst is in solid state. Next is oxidation of ammonia into nitric acid in the presence of platinum case in Ostwald process. So whenever we do the oxidation of ammonia, this is an Ostwald process. So oxidation of ammonia means ammonia when react with oxygen in the presence of solid platinum form nitrogen oxide and H2O. H2O in steam form, gaseous state, and each and every reactant and product is in gaseous state. But we are taking platinum as solid. So the reactant are in gaseous state while the catalyst is in solid state. So one more example, hydrogenation of vegetable oil in the presence of finely divided nickel as catalyst. Vegetable oil is in liquid state, hydrogen is a gas, and nickel is a solid, which ultimately gives the vegetable ghee, which we used to use as ghee to rub your chapatis and to cook something. So ghee and oil are two different things. So how you can make ghee from the oil? You just hydrogenate it and you can make the ghee. So one of the reactant is in liquid state, other is in gaseous state, while the catalyst is in solid state. So there can be any difference, either some are all are liquid, either some can be solids, either some can be gases, and sometimes we can have mixed type of reactants, solid liquid, liquid gas, liquid solid. Any type of combination can be there. So all those reactions are considered to be as heterogeneous catalysis. All right. So okay, adsorption theory of heterogeneous catalyst, how adsorption takes place in the case of heterogeneous catalyst. Okay, so this theory explains the mechanism of heterogeneous catalysis. We are talking about adsorption in the entire topic which we have studied previously and now also. So adsorption is a surface phenomenon. So how the adsorption takes place? If we talk about the adsorption, it means okay, in heterogeneous we have different state of catalyst and different state of the reactant. So adsorption can take place easily. How this thing happen? This theory known as adsorption theory of catalysis was that the reactant in gaseous state or in solution are adsorbed on the surface of solid catalyst. We have previously studied about the where we are taking the catalyst as solid. So you can see this is nitrogen gas and the solid catalyst. There is a liquid vegetable oil and the solid catalyst. So adsorption is very readily common in the solid state where the adsorbent on which we are adsorbing something is solid, and the adsorbate which is going to be adsorbed is liquid or gaseous state. So at this situation adsorption is most common and it can be go in an easy way. All right. The increase in concentration of reactant on the surface increase the rate of reaction. As the amount of the reactant increases, how it increases? We know this thing that in physical adsorption, there can be so many layers. है ना? It can be multi-layer. The extent molecules of to the which extent the molecules of reactant feel the attractive force from the adsorbent, they will attract and stick to the surface. Okay, but in chemical adsorption that is unilayer because there is bone formation takes place. So what happened whenever the reactant start depositing on the catalyst, what happened? That will increase the rate of reaction. Adsorption being an exothermic process, the heat of adsorption is utilized in enhancing the rate of reaction. And the heat that evolved out at that time, it is utilized in enhancing the rate of reaction. Okay, that heat will promote the rate of reaction and increase it. Okay, there are different types of steps involved in that. First, Diffusion of reactant to the surface of catalyst. First, reactant will go and stick to the surface of the catalyst. Adsorption takes place. Second, adsorption of reactant molecule on the surface of the catalyst. When they stick to the surface, at that time adsorption takes place. Next is occurrence of chemical reaction on the catalyst surface through the formation of intermediate. And what happened whenever the physical adsorption takes place, if heat is evolving out, we know this thing that this is an exothermic process. What happened? It will start converting into chemical adsorption at that time. So first, before reaching to the final product, one state reach, that is known as intermediate. Okay, when reactant start reacting with this, first intermediate form, then the final product will form. Okay, so intermediate is the middle point or the middle product between the reactant and the product. Desorption of reaction product from the catalyst surface and thereby making the surface available for more reaction. So if you want to do desorption, you can remove the reactants from the surface of the catalyst, and you can again use it for another process or for another reaction. Desorption means you can, if you remove the pressure or increase the temperature, the adsorbent or your gas reactants or solid liquid reactant will leave the surface of the catalyst, and you can use this catalyst for new reaction. Okay, diffusion of reaction products away from the catalyst surface. The surface of the catalyst, unlike the inner part of the bulk, has free valencies, which provides the seed for chemical formation of attraction. When gases come in contact with such a surface, its molecules are held up there due to the loose chemical combination. If different molecules are adsorbed side by side, they may react with each other, resulting in the formation of new molecule. Thus, the formed molecule may evaporate, leaving the surface of fresh reactant molecule. What happened when the reaction start and reactant starting just depositing on the surface? Sometimes they form bond together. The reactant will form bond with the reactant, or if something happen, if some other reactant come, so they can combine together also. Reactant can combine together and form new molecule. That is how this process of formation reaction reacting of reactants takes place. Okay.